Hello, good morning, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world, and be very welcome to our second live of the Wake Up Your Eyes free 4-part masterclass. So in today's live, we are going to teach you how you can improve your eyesight instantly with 3 exercises that we're going to teach you, even if you practice them for a few minutes. And because we believe so much in the effectiveness of these practices, we have provided to you by email, by email as you registered, the eye charts and small print so that you can verify how your eyesight is improving before and after practicing these practices. So we are in the middle of the second lesson of this 4-part free masterclass, where we are offering to you the equivalent of $300 worth of value for free. And why do I know it's $300 or euros? Because I'm teaching you what I used to teach in weekend workshops, and that's what I used to charge for that information. Now, in today's lesson, we are specifically going to address false myths and limiting beliefs about your eyesight and vision. You have probably heard a number of things about your eyesight that are at best partial and actually limiting, and at worst completely false, and they're definitely not setting you on track for improving your eyesight. So we're going to show with proof from research and facts that they're actually not true, so that you can break free from those limiting beliefs, change your mindset, and set yourself in the best path for success. We're going to show you also these 3 exercises to improve your eyesight in 5 minutes. And again, you can verify it by checking the small print, the eye charts before you practice them and after you practice them. We're going to go deeper on the topics of lesson number 2, the video that you received by email. And we are going to teach the instant focusing technique. This technique, with the practice of this technique that you can do with your bare eyes without any other addition, glasses or contacts, you are going to notice in the moment that you are capable of focusing so much better. And that is going to prove to you can actually see with your own eyes much better than you experience, and you'll understand what you need to do in order to experience that quality of eyesight in your daily life. And you can use this practice not to take awareness of the quality of your eyesight, but also to train your eyesight to see better and better every day. And also in situations that are very practical in day-to-day life. For example, when you need to read the label of a product, or you need to read the prescription, the information about a medicine, or you want to read the Bible or the small print in a contract, or any other situation where there's small letters and you want to see them in the moment, and by choice or because you forgot or for whatever reason, you don't have glasses, you don't have a magnifying lens, and you need to see for yourself. So we're going to teach you that instant focusing technique that you are going to love. We did this class yesterday in Spanish in front of 2,700 people-ish. And when I taught the instant focusing techniques, they were completely mind blown. They really were wowed by this. So I hope that will be the case for you as well. We're also going to show you alternative to glasses. We already said in live number 1 that if you want to improve your eyesight, you need to be wearing, of course, within reason and attending to your safety first and being functional. But the idea is to wear the glasses less and less, only when you need them, right? And then we're going to show you what alternatives you have to glasses that allow you to see in the transition time where you're improving your eyesight, while making your eyes more empowered and free and capable of seeing, instead of making them dependent and progressively seeing worse, which is what tends to happen with glasses. We will also speak about light, sunlight, and artificial light. We will talk about the dangers and the benefits. A lot of people know that blue light can be dangerous for your eyes, and there is truth in that. but the conclusions that you draw from it are maybe not completely to your advantage. So we're going to clarify when and how you can harness the power of light at different times of the day, and what kinds of lights are best for your eyes and which ones are harming it, whether it's natural light or artificial light. We are also going to take to answer to the questions that arrive in the chat, or common questions that we tend to receive about these topics. And in the process of learning about this, you are going to discover the stories of other people who before you have had success with these techniques. And today I have Diana Delgado and Yolanda Schwartz. They are vision coaches, and they are part of the team of the ClearSight Method team. Diana is from the third generation of our school that got the vision coach degree at the International University of Human Development and Leadership, and Yolanda is from generation number 4. So you can see their diplomas, and we also have Kat Staslova. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. She's from Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, and she's also a vision coach from the third generation, and has gone into combining natural vision improvement with yoga and facial yoga in a very successful manner. So we're very delighted to have you here with us to share also your experiences when you started with improving your eyesight naturally before you became a professionals. Thank you, all of you. And in some moment, I will probably invite one of you to speak instead of me, because I realized I don't have some of my tools by me. I need to go pick them in the other room. I had to change rooms yesterday during the live because there was noise, and I just realized some of the things I need, the tools are on the other side. Anyway, you are part of a movement of more than 5 million people around the world who have been participating in these free 4-part masterclasses since the year 2016. We actually started 10 years ago, actually the 25th or 27th let me check, the 25th of February, we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of the first time I did an online class speaking about the ClearSight Method in Spanish. So it's around the corner, our anniversary, in a bit less than a month. And since then, we've been able to impact 5 million people around the world with these free 4-part masterclasses in Spanish, in English. And as this class is proceeding, we keep growing live. Our YouTube channel has surpassed 50.5 million views of our videos. Our YouTube channel in Spanish, at least, our most viral video has over 7 million views. The second has more than 3.3 million views. We are beyond 485,000 subscribers on YouTube. We are beyond 415,000 subscribers to our newsletter by email, and you are part of this visionary movement. You can also make sure that you share what you're learning with the people that you love, so that they can keep improving their eyesight, taking care of their eyes. And we love to know where you are from. And by the way, I'm seeing this comment by a dear colleague, behavioral optometrist, and vision improvement teacher. Thanks so much for your service to all humankind on this planet. You and the ClearSight Method are fabulous. Thank you so much. And you might say, I've got some background in natural eyesight improvement. Absolutely. Elizabeth Haransky-Beck is also the author of another book in natural vision improvement. So it's very nice to get these encouragements, endorsements, and acknowledgements from esteemed colleagues. Okay, where are you from? Where are you watching us from? We love to see the international crowd that we tend to gather. So we have people from Scotland, the Netherlands, Canada. We also have people from Argentina, from Spain, from the Czech Republic. As we said earlier, I'm seeing Stephanie also mentioning this movement is amazing. I'm so grateful for you bringing this knowledge to us. I am from Toronto, Canada. Stephanie is from Florida. We have people from London. Amazing. Okay, I imagine that if you are here, you either wear glasses or contacts, or you would like to avoid using them, to need them less and less, and eventually get rid of your glasses for good. Whether you've been wearing glasses all your life and you're fatigued, or you have started, quote, quote, with age, and this is actually one of the common limiting false beliefs that we're going to debunk today. If you have been wearing glasses, or if you don't want to wear glasses, you are in the right place. Now, it may be that you have had surgery recently or years ago, and the surgery left sequels and inconveniences, or the symptoms that you got the surgery for came back after some time. Or you've been told that you need a surgery, maybe for cataracts, for a refractive error. Well, if that is your case, you are also in the right place. What we're going to be talking about is going to be useful for all of you. And if you don't have any eyesight problems and you want to keep a good eyesight for life, you are also in the right place, because you don't need to have bad teeth to start brushing your teeth every day, right? So also as a prevention, you are in the right place. Also, if you know other people that are having some eyesight issues and would like to find another way to take care of their eyes and improve their eyesight naturally, share with the people you care about. You may be doing them a great favor that they will be grateful and thankful for the rest of their lives. So that's what we're here for. And the question is, are you interested or committed? The difference is that if you're interested, which is great, it's a great start. Well, you are here, you're listening, you're finding this interesting, which is amazing. Increasing your culture is always a good idea. But if you are committed, go a step further. You keep coming back to the lives, you watch the videos, you practice the techniques that we teach. You practice, you apply the recommendations. If you do that, that's when you're going to see the results. That's when you're going to see the difference. So if you're committed, and I guess that the people that keep coming back to the lives are committed, well, have you watched lesson number 1, the video and the live? And if that's the case, I would like to read it in the chat, if you can write it. Also, have you seen video number 2 that we delivered a couple of days ago? Yes. And if you have seen video number 2, then did you practice sunning? Because we already taught sunning in video number 2. It's a special practice done with the power of sunlight to relax the muscles of our eyes, to stimulate our retina, to stimulate our mitochondria, and make our retina healthier, and to give more energy for all of the body. It has a lot of benefits, sunning. And we're going to talk about sunning again, but I would like to know also, if you have practiced, what effects have you noticed already from practicing sunning? Yeah? What did you notice when you practice? What sensations in your eyes? And beyond that, how the quality of your eyesight improved? Because this is the reason why we gave you the eye charts and the small print, so that you could verify that now you can see letters better, further away or closer to you, and smaller, and that you're doing better and better. Now, if you couldn't print the small print and the eye chart, you can also use a book, you can use a newspaper, you can use posters that you have around you, anything that has letters of different sizes. You can use also as a way to verify, to self-evaluate how your eyesight is improving. And before I keep going, so I see there's also more people that are mentioning, so from Florida, London, Oregon, Colorado, Boulder, from New York, also from Dayton, Florida, southwest of the USA, and more people from other places. Okay, I would like to know, while the people are typing the effects they noticed with the sunning, Diana, Yolanda, Kat, if you would like to share your experience when you started practicing sunning, what it meant to you and for the quality of your eyes and your vision improvement. What did you learn? How did it feel? how did it transform your eyesight, and how did that impact your life, Diana?
Mhm. Yeah, of course. Thank you, Ainhoa. Hello, everyone. Congratulations for being here in this free course. It's amazing as I'm reading in the chat. The first time you do sunning, yes, because we usually go outside, enjoy life, enjoy nature, but learning that sunlight is so beneficial. I remember my first sunning, closing my eyes to the sun, receiving the warmth, the energy, yes, of the sun. It was so nice, but because I felt the relaxation in my eyes. Yes, we are used to being out inside with screens, with artificial light, but it's so nice when you have at least a little sunshine, even in winter. I know that many people are in winter and covered by snow, but um, with the sun, you can enjoy that natural light. Sorry, that natural light that comes into your eyes. And I remember that first time feeling relaxed. I enjoyed a lot, not only my eyes, but also my whole body. Yes, because this sunlight provides such a warm, such a wonderful feeling, yes, and sensation. Not so, as I said, not only in the eyes that are not always exposed to sunlight. We
Mhm.
are mostly exposed to artificial light, but sunning is great. So if you are practicing, and I'm reading in the chat that you are, it's great. Go on and discover more things during the sunning
Yeah,
practice. Yes.
thank you, Diana. So I'm noticing people mentioning, yes, we did sunning. It feels amazing, nice and warm and calming. And these are good benefits already from sunning. So great. I see also Loyal Lion saying, I could see clearly, slightly, or clearer,
Mm.
slightly. Great. You also need to know that these effects are cumulative. So the more you practice palming, the more you practice sunning, this little by little seeing slightly clearer is going to build on top of each other until a bunch of a little bit, a little bit, a little bit becomes a lot better. But this you will notice over time. Now, for those who have difficulties with the sun in the UK, we have some solutions for you that we're going to talk a little bit later. Yeah. Great. Michelle did her first sunning today. And Cheryl is saying, I did sunny the first time today. It was very nice, especially the kaleidoscope. What a specter of
Mm.
colors. Absolutely. The kaleidoscope is actually my favorite practice in sunning because not only is it good for your eyesight, but it's very beautiful to watch. It's actually quite entertaining. It's like an inner kaleidoscope, and it's really, really beautiful. Um, Okay, and some people are just joining us from the community of Kelly Brogan. Very welcome. So you haven't yet watched any videos, but you plan to catch up after this live stream. Well, Gretchelinda, I'm not sure I'm reading your name right, but anyway, be very welcome and join our workshop, our free four-part masterclass. Okay, so, and also Natural Dweller says, I just came in from sunning. My eyes and body feel so
Mm.
healthy after just 15 minutes. So imagine if you gift yourself with 15 minutes every day. What transformation is it going to be for your well being, for your general health, and for the quality of your eyesight? We're going to give you information about all of this today. So you actually can foresee what effects it could have. Okay. And also, Stephanie says, I noticed an improvement just after a couple of days. I no longer need reading glasses. Look at you, Stephanie, with just a couple of days. Success story directly from the
Yeah.
Free for Part Masterclass. And every time we teach this course, we have a bunch of people that get success and that obtain the results just with the free classes. And then there's other people that also need more help to go more in depth, who need a group accountability, more coaching, etc. And for those people, towards the end of this free 4-part masterclass we're going to offer you if you want to join the advanced program. But in any case, we really are happy to see that you're letting go of reading glasses. This is what we're here for. And thank you for sharing and showing that you're an example of success already. Okay. Let's see. When I came indoors after sunning, everything looked sharper. Edges of objects looked a bit more defined. Great. I had a good experience with sunning, warming, calming, and the sunlight is absolutely gorgeous in winter in Norway. So happy that you are celebrating and enjoying sunlight. I could see clearer, but only a little while. Okay, there's a reason for that. You need to have your eyes get used to the new habits, to the new way of seeing, and sometimes it takes time. It may happen the same with palming, that you see clearer for a period of time after palming, and then the blur comes back. That is because the tension in the eyes, which is the habit that you have, that probably you've had for decades, that's kind of your standard default setting. So you need to keep practicing until the standard default setting is that your eyes are relaxed. For some people, it may be very fast. In a couple of days, they succeed. And for some people, it needs a little bit more perseverance and practice. Yeah. Okay. So very, very happy to see all this success so far. And the question is, do you want to improve your eyesight even more? Or if you haven't yet started the vision improvement, do you want to start? Do you want to learn more? Do you want to have more tools to do so? Well, first, make sure that you are registered for this free 4-part masterclass. In the past few lives, people that attended were massively registered. But for example, the people in the community of Kelly Brogan, maybe they haven't figured out their way yet. So please, team, if you could put the links to make sure that everyone that's here can get registered and take the full advantage of the 4 classes, it would be amazing. And a few words about me. I've spoken about me in the other live, so I'm going to be much shorter this time. But so if you know me, you already know, but so bear with me a little bit. But if you're new, then probably you want to know who am I and why I'm speaking about natural vision improvement. Well, I'm Dr. Ainhoa de Federico. I have 2 research PhDs from Spain, from France, from the University of Science and Technology in France, and from the Public University of Navarra. I am a tenured professor at the University of and I have requested to be absent from my tenured job at the University of Toulouse to direct the International Center for Vision Coaching and to direct the first university degree for vision coaches at the International University of Human Development and Research and Leadership in Mexico. This degree is based on the ClearSight Method, so the program I created for natural vision improvement, which was the first online program in the Spanish-speaking world to improve your eyesight naturally. Now, I am not the first to have worked on natural vision improvement. The field of research has 100 years of existence, and we'll talk about this. But in any case, I have been behind the creation of the first university degree level training for natural vision improvement professionals. And here you have a picture of the first graduation. Diana was there. Kat was part of that generation, but she didn't come to Mexico at that time for the graduation. And we have also published in the last 2 years the first anthology of natural vision improvement. When we were doing all the admin research and creating the programs, etc., for the Secretary of Public Education in Mexico, who did a thorough research, and we found that in the world there were more than 500 books devoted to natural vision improvement in 17 languages, but all of them had only one author, so none of them were fully displaying the importance, the depth, and the expansion of natural vision improvement as a movement and as a community, as a professional community as a whole. So with 2 other colleagues, Nathan Oxenfeld and Orit Kruglansky, we put together this volume with 43 authors from 16 countries, sharing one extraordinary vision that you can improve your eyesight naturally. And both in Spanish and in English, when we published these books, they became an instant bestseller internationally. The English volume was in the top 100 most sold books of 11 Amazon stores. I'm not just talking about being number one in a category, but being in the top 100 of the whole Amazon store as a whole. So anyway, you can also look for the book if you're interested. It's a very good book. And in any case, the ClearSight Method, which is the method behind the university degree that we are teaching, is a world-class natural vision improvement program. We have received many awards over the years. Well, I'm not going to read them because that would get a bit boring. In any case, I'm telling you these things not with the idea to show off, even though, of course, I'm very happy and satisfied and proud for how the movement is going forward, and I'm very, very happy to be playing a part as one of the leaders, one of the references in the field. But more than anything, I'm telling you this because you deserve to know the quality and the value of what you're going to receive. And it's really worth your commitment. You're listening and you're practicing and participating. I myself improved my vision 3 times, my eyesight, 3 times in my life. I already spoke about it before, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But bottom line, if I could do it, if thousands of people around the world have been able to do it, you can do it too. So I invite you to believe in yourself, to believe in the possibility and the opportunity. It just takes a bit of time and practice. Attention, intention, dedication, and you can get the result as well. So you want to keep improving, you want to have more success with vision improvement. Well, then the next thing that we're going to be talking about is about those false myths and limiting beliefs. And it's important that we address mindset at some point, because if you believe that something is impossible, then you don't set yourself to success with it. Why bother? If something cannot work, it doesn't happen, why even do it? So, and unfortunately, there's a lot of limiting beliefs that are very common in society. And so we need to address them and show with proof and research that actually they're, again, at best partial, and most of the time just directly wrong. So you've probably heard things like that eyesight problems are genetic, and so you cannot do anything about it. That after 40, your vision only gets worse, that if you wear glasses, you need to wear them all the time, and you're going to be more and more dependent of them, and the glasses, if anything, they're going to get thicker and thicker, right, with more prescriptions, that eyesight can only get worse, that glasses or surgery are the only options. If your symptoms are congenital from birth, you cannot do anything. If it runs in the family, you cannot do anything. And the sunlight is bad for your eyesight, so you should wear sunglasses at all times when you're outdoors. And you also need to wear blue blockers if you use screens. Well, all of these are not correct. At best, partially correct, but even in the parts that are where there is some truth to it, probably you even have it a bit reversed in the way you apply it in your daily life. So I want to take time to clarify and to talk about each of those false and limiting beliefs to set you for success. Yeah. And if Diana, Yolanda, Kat, if you want to comment on some of them at some point, you're also welcome to do so. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Eyesight problems are genetic. You cannot do anything about it. Well, there's 2 sentences to the to that limiting belief, so that poor eyesight is genetic, and that when it's genetic, there's nothing you can do about it. So both of them are actually at best partially true and actually rather incorrect. So when the research on genetics started, it was fascinating. And of course, there's been a lot of explanations that have been done by genetics. But as science is a conversation and is an ongoing process of discovery, and in the last decades, epigenetics are becoming more and more showing groundbreaking research and becoming more and more known. And first of all, epigenetics tells us that a lot of genes are actually like a switch. They turn on and off depending on what you do in your life, on behavior. So genes are not, a lot of them, are not creating a determination, but they're creating a range of possibility. And whether that possibility is going this direction or that direction depends on your behavior, on things like what you eat, how you move, if you live in toxic environments, whether it's toxic in terms of chemicals or toxic in terms of relationships that are hard for you. So how are your interactions? How are your thoughts? How are your emotions? What's your purpose in life? And things like that. So all of those affect whether your genes are going to activate in one way or another, whether you're going to get sick or not. Yeah. So even if eyesight issues were of a genetic origin, whether the genes are activated or not still depends on behavior, on habits and lifestyle. And now about the myopia, for example, being genetic. Well, there is a little bit of predisposition with myopia, but genetics alone cannot explain that in 1920 there was only 5% of myopia in the part of the world that was keeping track and statistics of it, like Western Europe, North America. Nowadays, there's 41 to 47% in Europe, Western Europe, and North America. And in several countries in Asia, it's 80%, and in some cities, 95%. Genetics don't work like this. The transformation in genetics would explain at most for a change of 2% per generation, which would be max 10% in 100 years. And we're way beyond that 10%. Now, what has changed in the last 100 years? Lifestyle, habits, our way of living. Yeah. And we have a very recent example that we can see without having to believe me. You probably know this from your direct experience. In 2020, during the lockdowns, so the lockdown started in March, and by June, there were many associations of optometrists and papers in research journals and also in the traditional media, stating that within the first 3 months of the pandemic, the decline of eyesight in the world was massive. And in 3 months, genetics had not changed. What had changed in 3 months was the conditions of our life. And maybe you were one of the people that noticed the eyesight decline during that period. For a lot of people, symptoms started in 2020. Mm-hmm. And a Spanish Association of Optometrists, for example, published a research showing that in the first 3 months of the lockdown, 55% of the adult population noticed a decline in their eyesight, and that number increased to 78% of teenagers and young people who spent a lot more time with screens, for example. And during the lockdowns, we had a perfect cocktail of actually conditions that are not good for your eyesight. Being indoors, so less sunshine, working more with screens and looking a lot more near, moving less. So being stressed about your health, about your beloved ones, about your work, about the future, all of that impacts eyesight. And that is lifestyle. It's not genetics. So the good news is that you can do something about your habits and your lifestyle. So you have the power in your hands. Another example on how actually eyesight problems are more related with lifestyle than with genetics is from a research that happened in the 70s. So this research happened with the Inuit population in Alaska, Eskimos, Inuit. And what was happening at the time was the process of acculturation of this collective. So we're going to talk about roughly 3 generations: the grandparents, the parents, and the children. And the grandparents were living the traditional style of Inuit life. So they lived in the ice, in the igloos, and they would fish and hunt and spend a lot of time outdoors. And they had a remarkably good eyesight until they were older. So good eyesight for life. Now, the generation of the parents had a more mixed lifestyle. Maybe they lived in apartments, even if they would go and visit and spend time with the relatives, or they worked at a factory, even if they would go hunting and fishing on the weekends or when they had free time. And so they started having nearsightedness, myopia. But the amounts, the prevalence was still relatively low. Now, the generation of the children, they were the first to go to school, like all the rest of American kids. Well, the generation of the children had the same prevalence for myopia, for nearsightedness, as the rest of the American children. Yeah. So, again, lifestyle, not genetics. And yes, school is a good predictor of myopia. We'll talk about that in lesson number 3. But you need to understand that there's nothing fixed about your eyesight. If you pay attention, you will even notice that it fluctuates, and you've already started proving to yourself that you are improving your eyesight with the practices that we're talking about. Okay, I see that there's some people saying that they're having some issues with emails or something like that. If anyone needs help, or if you know someone that needs help, you can write to Ainhoa at ClearSight.com, and the members of the team will help. And I imagine that Yolanda, Diana, you're also answering the questions that are raising in the chat at this moment as I speak. Okay, another very common false myth and limiting belief is that after 40, your vision gets worse. Now, we need to distinguish between a common experience and a biologically determined fact. Yes? So if we're talking about a common experience, yes, it is common for a lot of people to see their eyesight decline after 40. But is it biologically determined? Is it like this for everyone? Absolutely not. And this is something that you can also check for yourself. If you have a subscription to Netflix, for example, look for this documentary speaking about how in the blue zones, there's a lot of people who live 100 years and beyond, and they're very frequent. And you will notice the documentary is about longevity and what are the factors that foster longevity. But a lot of those factors are actually good for your eyesight, surprisingly and interestingly. So you will notice in the documentary, even if you're listening about longevity, that these people that are have an advanced age, they see very well with their own eyes. And you will see them cooking and using their mobile phone and creating instruments and doing everyday life activities without glasses. So before this documentary and the work of Dan Buettner was published, in anthropology, it was also known that in certain ethnic groups like the Hansa in the Himalaya or the Vilacabamba in Ecuador are groups that have very long lives and don't need glasses for reading when they're older. Now, another interesting fact is this 40-year reference has been changing over time. 30 years ago, the normal, so normal meaning only common, not compulsory, right? The normal time to get the glasses for reading was in your 50s. So in 30 years, we have lost, because of our lifestyle, 10 years of quality of our eyesight. And actually nowadays, the trends show that it's more and more common for people between 35 and 38 to start needing reading glasses. So it is, again, not biologically determined. It's because of the lifestyle that we have that our eyesight is getting progressively worse sooner as time goes by. So it's not a factor of aging. It's a factor of what habits have you been accumulating for decades and what's the effect they're having on your body. Okay, another one, and we already, Kat, you want to say something about it? Go for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that I'm the typical example of getting worse eyesight after 40. But it's exactly that's what I thought. Like I'm 40, that's normal. My eyesight get worse. But then I understood what you mentioned. No? It was in the pandemic. Also, I got pregnant, so there was more things. But after the pandemic, my eyesight got much worse because what you mentioned. And now, after 5 years, I'm like one of the few people from my friends, where all my friends are getting the eyesight worse, and I'm one of the few who doesn't need the typical glasses that the doctor recommend you with the one dioptry for a presbyopia. And a funny story, I met one doctor here. He does the terapia visual, is the optometrist, and he works with the therapy. And we were talking about the natural vision, and he told me, I cannot treat the people with presbyopia. It's like forbidden for him. So I was like, oh, great. So send them to me because I improved my vision after 40. And then also I wanted to share another story with you when you were talking about the myopia. One of my clients who comes from Ainhoa, she got to know me through Ainhoa. She was considered myopic for the like generation that her mother had myopia, etc. And also with the age, she got the cataracts and a high eye pressure. And now, for her surprise, she had the exam 2 weeks ago, and she called me and she was like, "Wow, Kat, I don't have cataracts anymore. My dioptry decreased, but that she knew she could feel that she has less dioptries, and the eye pressure got lower." I was like, "Wow, amazing!" Like a case like this, that she wear glasses since she was 13 years old, consider that it comes from her genetics, from her family. So that's the proof. Everything is possible. And one thing, and I asked her like, do you want to give a message to another people who are improving the eyesight? And she was like, no, they just have to do the exercise that Ainhoa recommend them. So basically, all these exercise you learn these days, they are the most important. And then now
Yes.
already some of you, they could feel the benefits of it.
Yes, and I'm seeing, as usual, people asking, "What about my symptom? Does it work for cataracts? Does it work for myopia? Does it work for presbyopia?" The techniques that we're teaching you, they work if you have eyes in your face, basically. So if you want to take care of your eyes
Exactly.
and if you want to improve your eyesight, yeah. So for any kinds of symptoms, you want to be practicing um, these um, these exercises, these new habits. Okay, thank you very much, Kat. And as you were speaking, I was having a look also at the chat so I can organize questions. But I'd like to invite Diana Yolanda. If you type the answers here on StreamYard, the answer goes to YouTube and to Facebook, and I could see that you've been answering as well. Great. Kat was mentioning, yeah, that in 2020, so around 40, your eyesight started declining, and a lot of people just consider it's normal, so they don't look beyond anything. And actually, glasses and surgeries, of course, have been with us since the 12th century, so everyone is aware of those possibilities, and of course, they've improved a lot since the 12th century. But now it's over 100 years ago that we know with Western science that eyesight can be improved without the need of medical treatments, without glasses, without surgeries, and that if there's people who want to take their health and their eyesight in their hands, there's things that they can do to improve their eyesight the same way that you go to the dentist once a year for sure to check your teeth, but every day you're also brushing your teeth and using floss and mouthwash. So with eyesight, it's the same. You still want to go to your doctor once a year to make sure that everything's fine. But also, there are things that you can do in your everyday life that prevent the symptoms from appearing. And if you already have the symptoms, that allow for them to diminish and, in many cases, even to disappear And whether your improvement is partial or it's total, I can guarantee you that the improvement it represents in the quality of your life, it's totally worth the attention. And on the other hand, Kat, you were talking, yeah, so with the lockdowns and at 40, that's when you started noticing the eyesight decline. But we have students that are not just only in their 40s. We have students in their 50s, in their 60s, in their 70s, in their 80s, in their 90s. And the oldest person that I know of that has improved their eyesight and kept excellent eyesight until they died, she started when she was 98, and she had a glass-free life. Until she died being 103. So it's the mother of one of our students, right? Maria Jose Fernandez, you know her. So you know the story that I'm talking about. So you can start improving your eyesight at any age, independently of when the eyesight started declining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My
Yes.
my client is 60 years old and she's improving her vision.
Uh,
Yes.
ca- can you repeat? Sorry.
Okay. I just wanted to say that my client who improved the vision, she's 60 years old.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes, absolutely. And I'm
Very
seeing
great.
Elizabeth saying paradigm shift in real time. So great. Yeah. We share the ideas, of course, Elizabeth. Okay, so more limiting beliefs that we want to talk about. So if you wear glasses, you need to wear them all the time. It's actually the opposite. If you wear the glasses all the time, your eyesight is going to decrease and decline faster. 75% of people who wear glasses get a progressively higher and higher prescription. So you want to use the glasses as a tool. We're not like demonizing them. They have their moment and their function, but you want to use them as such, as a tool. So ask yourself in the moment, do I need the glasses to be safe? Then wear them, of course. If you need glasses for driving, you don't want to be in a car crash, you want to be safe yourself and make sure that others around you are safe. So if you need the glasses for driving, wear them. We know of people, we have a bunch of students that have been able to change their driver's license, and now they can drive without glasses. But that's been after they had, well, the whole course of the improvement, right? If you're going to be using dangerous tools, I don't know, knives in the kitchen, things like that, we want you with all your fingers. Please use the glasses for those opportunities. And if you need to do a specific job that requires that you see very well in the moment and you don't have other possibilities at hand, well, use the glasses too. I mean, that's okay. But there are many situations in your daily life where you can probably be functional without the glasses. And when you remove the glasses, you give your eyes the opportunity to learn to see by themselves more and more. I mean, if you sprained an ankle, you would never wear crutches for life. You would wear them at the time when it's needed until the rehabilitation process of the ankle is complete. And then progressively you let go of the crutches. Maybe not all the time. Maybe there's moments where you still use them. And the more you gain trust and you gain capacity and ability and strength, etc., then you let more and more go of the crutches until you don't use them anymore. So it's kind of a similar process with eyesight. Yeah. So you need to be flexible with the use of the glasses. Don't just wear them the moment you wake up and the last thing that you do is removing them. Keep them maybe in a drawer or keep them in your purse. They can be at hand in case you need them, but only wear them when they're really needed. Yeah. Okay. Glasses or surgery are the only options. Well, we already spoke about this for until 1920, or actually 19 um, until 1919 they were the only option in the Western world, because since the 12th century we had glasses and we had surgeries. But in 1919 there was the first pioneering research that started being published on natural vision improvement by Dr. William Bates. We spoke about him in lesson number 1. But also, there's other medical and care traditions in the Eastern world, like in Ayurveda or Chinese medicine, that have known for thousands of years about ways to take care of your eyes and improve your eyesight naturally. But if we just stay with Western science, now we know for 100 years that it is possible to improve your eyesight and that there are alternatives or things that can go hand in hand as a complement to improve your eyesight. And I read someone in the chat asking if it's a good idea to progressively diminish the diopters or the prescription in your glasses. And actually, that's the experience for a lot of people as they improve their eyesight. They go through their previous prescriptions, like in their life, the prescription was going bigger and bigger. And when they start vision improvement, then they can reuse older glasses. Maybe they're not as fashionable, but with a lesser prescription as they improve their eyesight. And today we're going to show you another alternative tool to glasses. Glasses can be part of the mix, but there are other options that will help you improve your eyesight too. Now, if your symptoms are congenital from birth, you cannot do anything. If it runs in the family, you cannot do anything. Well, guess what? The things that run in the family are not just genetics, they're also habits, lifestyle, emotions, view of the world, beliefs, roles. So, all this epigenetic aspect is also passed on in the family. So, how about you are the first person in the family to make that clear eyesight runs in the family, right? And you can do it first by improving your eyesight yourself, and then you can support others. First by showing that what is possible, and then we have a lot of participants that after improving their eyesight, or along with improving their eyesight, they have helped their spouses, their kids, their elders, and this is also a source of joy and satisfaction to be bringing well-being into the family. And Kat, I see you nodding. Are there some examples you want to
Yeah.
add?
No, that this client, she was saying, "Thank God I didn't throw all the glasses," because now when she's reducing the dioptries, she's
Mhm.
using the old glasses.
Mhm.
So it's
Yes,
good to keep them.
yes. Okay. And when you're done, maybe when you're done, well, some people throw them, or some people show the collection of glasses that they don't
Yeah.
need anymore. And that's also very nice. Okay. And if the symptom is congenital, well, tomorrow, well, first of all, I was born with strabismus, with a lazy eye, and with very strong myopia, say my parents. Probably it was actually a very strong hyperopia. That's what tends to happen with babies. And with early stimulation, and all those symptoms went away. And by the time I was 1 year old, I was seeing perfectly. So if it was possible for me, it's also possible for others. I don't know if you were there, Kat, in Valencia, but Diana, you were, and you remember we had Sandra Pazos. She's one of the
Mm,
authors in the book. She has
yes.
a chapter on early stimulation, and she has a full book on early stimulation. And that's all that her practice is. And she precisely helps babies before they can walk, before they can talk, to improve their eyesight naturally. So even if your symptom is congenital, if you're talking about a baby, it's a better, you will give them a gift for life if they can improve their eyesight early. But if you are that person that was born with symptoms, and it's 40 years later or 50 years later, you are still in time to improve your eyesight. I think that was your case too, right, Diana? You had strabismus and a lazy eye, and you were bullied at
Mhm,
school, and you were eye patch
mhm.
didn't help you. And if it's not an indiscreet question to ask, at what age did you start learning natural improvement in your eyesight after a lifetime of symptoms? Yeah.
Yeah. No. No indiscretion at all. I know. Yes, I discovered that at 50, 51 years old. So it's never too late because I understood that my eyes needed care.
Mhm.
And having worn glasses for such a long time, at that moment when I received this free course, I doubted at first, of course, because I said, okay, what is this about? If I have worn my glasses, I have done everything I had in my hand, but I discovered that I haven't taken care of my eyes. I haven't given them the sun, the darkness with palming. Many people are asking about that too. So I was 51, and the first thing I noticed is relaxation. The first thing I noticed is that when my eyes are relaxed, because this is an everyday habit, in just like brushing our teeth, is relaxation. When I go to the sun a little bit, just for 10 minutes, maybe just a little break, my eyes respond. My eyes tell me, yes, this is what we needed. Yes. So it's about that. It's about giving them what they
Yeah.
ask for. No one has
And
told
if
us about
you,
score. And I don't know. Yes,
yes, and if you had never given your eyes what they needed to improve, well, they didn't improve before, but you're still in time. You can still improve right now, whether it came from birth, at any age, really. Another common limiting belief is that sunlight is bad for your eyesight. I have seen people in the subway, like underground, with artificial light, not very strong light, actually, and they were wearing sunglasses. It doesn't make any sense. But even in the sunlight, we will talk about this more in detail in a moment. But the idea is to, as much as possible, allow your eyes to be in touch with the sunlight. Again, we'll get into detail because looking directly to the sun is foolish most of the time. But there are moments where you can look at the sunrise, sunset, where actually this is beneficial. Yeah. So there's a lot to say, a lot to unpack about the sun. So let's hold it there. I just want you to consider for now that actually the reason why there is life on planet Earth is precisely because of sunlight, because we're at the right distance for life to have appeared. And the sun is necessary for your global health, for your autonomous nervous system to regulate, for your endocrinous system to regulate, for a lot of body functions are coordinated to the circadian cycle and how your body perceives if it's day or it's night or what moment of the day it is. And guess what? The organs that let the rest of your body know what time of the day it is your eyes, because they're the most transparent part of the body where the light gets the more insight, and they have the photosensitive receptors that allow us to see, of course, but also that allows our body to adjust. And when we're wearing sunglasses or even any kind of glasses that filter part of the solar spectrum all the time, we're fooling our bodies. We're actually more inclined to get other kinds of symptoms because of filtering sunlight and not having our bodies well informed about what the conditions are. So again, safety first and be reasonable and follow the sensations of your body. And if your body's uncomfortable, there's probably a reason. So go to the shadow or wear a hat or blink more. But to the extent that it is pleasant, spend time in the sunlight, even in the sunshine, as much as reasonably possible, and it will be good for your eyesight. We'll go more in depth there. And another false limiting belief is that you need to wear blue blockers if you use screens. And actually, it is true that the blue light from LED lights and from the screens is not good for your eyesight. We'll also dive deeper in there. But in that case, what I advise you to use is virtual filters. Or physical filters, but for the screens. For example, but you may use any other brand. You can find them on Amazon. You can use Reticare for any screen, whether it's your phone or your computer or your tablets. For virtual filters, you have f.lux. It's a free program, a free app, and Iris. that one is paying. But anyway, so I think Iris not only changes the color of the screen depending of the time of the day, but also gives you some reminders to take a pause or to practice something. So it can have some additional advantages to it. Now, what's the point here? When you put a physical filter on the screen, you're already reducing the blue light exposure. When you put a virtual filter on the screen, the colors of your screen are changing according to the sunlight ranges of light. So it gives your body information that is similar to what is happening outdoors. But why would we not want to use the blue blockers? Because anytime you're putting any kind of glass in front of your eyes, it already has some inconveniences for your eyes. And again, it's a tool. So if there's moments where you need to use them at that moment, but stop using them the rest of the time. So what happens every time we wear glasses? First, they inhibit blinking. Screens also inhibit blinking. And blinking, we already saw in lesson number 1, that is a very important activity that should be happening every couple seconds, and it really has a lot of benefits for the eyes and for eyesight. I won't repeat myself. If you weren't here when we spoke about blinking, watch the recording from the other video. Now, they reduce blinking. They filter part of the solar spectrum. And for example, when we wear any kind of glasses, more so if we're wearing sunglasses, we decrease the production of vitamin D. It used to be believed that we would segregate vitamin D for sunshine exposure through the skin. But since 2018, it is known now, and I'm giving you one of the references, scientific references here, you have a few others, that it's actually through the sun that comes in the body, through the eyes, that we synthesize the most vitamin D. So when you're wearing glasses all the time, you're depriving yourself from vitamin D, and also when you're wearing the blue blockers. Yeah. We also have students that when they stopped wearing glasses all the time because they had improved their eyesight, they stopped needing to get vitamin D supplements. So there you go. Now, what else happens when you're wearing glasses? So you stop blinking, you have less vitamin D, your gaze becomes more rigid because any prescription glass, by definition, is a curved, in a way or another, lens. And so the part of the glass where you see sharp is the center. So now, if you want to focus at things, you're moving your head because your eye needs to be in the center of the glass all the time. And we know since 100 years ago that people who see well, one of the reasons why they see well is because their eyes are moving all the time, looking for details, and the movement keeps the eyes relaxed as well. So this is one of the reasons why your glasses make your eyesight progressively worse. They make it dependent because they keep the tension in your eyes by keeping your gaze rigid, not mobile. Yeah. Now, with the glasses, whether they're blue blockers or sunglasses or anything, they also restrain your field of vision. Now you're paying attention to central vision only, and because of the frame and because of the focus being in the center of the glass, now you become less and less aware of your periphery. And guess what? Peripheral view has very important function together with central view, but also it's what informs the autonomous nervous system that you're safe, because threats tend to come from the sides or from behind. They don't come with a hello, I'm here to kill you, right? So, and this is how our bodies are wired. So when we're not being able to see the periphery, we're always in an unconscious state of alarm and alert. And the physiology of the autonomous nervous system shows us that when we are afraid, we literally see worse. The settings that our nervous system gives us show us the emergency exit, yes, but with more blur. So when you're reducing your field of vision, you're not doing yourself a service for your vision improvement. Now, with any kind of glass, or even if we look through the window, we see the world flat, and the world is 3D. So we're also keeping ourselves from that experience that is important for vision and vision improvement. And also, they change the color of things and the size and distance. So they also have other inconveniences. So instead of the blue blockers, I mean, if you need them absolutely, and it's going to be a short period of time, if you don't have anything else, use them. But it's better if you use the virtual or physical filters on the screens themselves to keep your eyes free so that they can keep developing the good habits for seeing well by themselves. Is there something you'd like to add to this, Diana?
I was thinking about the eyes. The eyes breathe also without the crystals. And I was thinking about this documentary that we mentioned before. And I remember my grandparents not wearing sunglasses at all. And
Mm-hmm.
they, I don't know, they were 97, 96, and they
Uh-huh.
were just wearing hats, keeping out of the sun when the sun, because there are times we know, uh I don't know, it became a habit, to sunbathe and stay long hours, and that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
But being in the sun, just look at animals, our pets. Yes, how they enjoy being in the sun. The everything, the plants, everything live because of the sun. We live because of the sun.
Yeah.
Yes, but we have to learn how to
Since
benefit from that. Yes.
Yeah, since you mentioned the kids that love playing in the sun, let me mention a study that has been carried in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Australia, where
Mhm.
they have seen that when kids spend 2 hours playing outdoors in the middle of the day, in the solar middle of the day, they're less. Yeah, so they have less chances of developing myopia, and the middle of the day is the moment where there's the most blue light in the atmosphere. And blue light, it's the natural sunlight. Blue light is what prevents myopia from developing because it regulates the production of optical dopamine. And so, blue light, when it's in the natural blue light of the sunlight in a natural setting where it's also combined with the right doses of other wavelengths of light, it's actually beneficial for your eyes. Mhm. So, a good habit, and we'll go more into blue light and red light, but a good habit is to be outdoors 4 times a day at strategic moments: a sunrise and a sunset, when there's the most red light in the atmosphere, especially if you're at sea level. If you are at sea level, then you can even look at the sun directly when the solar disk is touching the horizon of the water. At that moment, it's even pleasant to look at the sun, and the red light is going to activate the mitochondria of the cells, the photosensitive cells in the retina, in your eyes, and will make you have much stronger and healthier photosensitive cells. It's been proven that if you are exposed to red light, and the best red light is the sun's red light, much better than any lamp. If you're exposed to red light, particularly in the morning for 3 minutes, then your eyes are protected for the effect of other kinds of blue light and even ultraviolet light. Mhm.
Mhm.
So we'll give more details about sunlight, but be outdoors for sunrise and sunset if you can. Be outdoors in the middle of the day, and be outdoors between 8 and 10 in the morning. Those are the four strategic moments to be outdoors. And it doesn't have to be for hours, it can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you can, and particularly whatever feels good to you that day at that moment. Mhm. Because we have an amazing device of
Mhm.
biofeedback that we've
Mhm.
incorporated, which is our body, that actually, if we pay attention, tells us when it's enough, when it needs more, when it's bored, when it's interested. And it's an extremely good guide to know how long to stay in the sun. A lot of people ask us, but tell us how many minutes. And well, um, I don't know if you live in Ecuador or in Norway. I don't know if it's the winter or the summer, or what's the altitude where you live, and also how you feel that day and how long you've been practicing sunning. So all these variables, I don't know, so I cannot give a recipe that is good for everyone, but your body does. Mhm. So practice as long as you're feeling good about the practice, as long as you're interested. If you're starting to feel discomfort, it's time to change the practice or to move to the shadow or to go indoors or to do something else. Okay. Uh, Okay. Elizabeth is like, you're cracking me up. Wonderful, simple, straightforward description of the importance of good and vibrant awareness of our periphery. Well, so good to have you here and also to have your comments. Okay, so I kind of went a little bit ahead of myself, but well, it doesn't matter if we tell the story before or after. The importance is that we deliver the value, right? So I would like to teach you now the instant focusing technique. I would like to know who here would like to learn how you can show to your much
Mhm.
better than you thought you could with your own eyes, without glasses, without contacts. And actually, we're going to invite you to remove glasses and contacts for this practice.
Mhm.
You would like to know how, even with just yourself, with your own body and nothing else, you could read the Bible, read your phone, read the small print in a contract, read the labels of the products in the supermarket when you want to make sure that they don't have preservatives or sugar and there's poor lighting and you're tired and you don't have your glasses. Who would like to learn this instant focusing technique? Okay, yeah. Um, so I'm going to invite you, Diana and Yolanda, also to practice this technique. Yeah. And so it's going to be the three of us doing it over here. And we invite you to do it at home. Yeah. I see.
Mhm.
Great. Yes, please. I would love instant focusing technique. Does this work from trying to focus on faraway objects? Yes, it works. It works both ways to see clearly small things near if you have hyperopia, sightedness, or if reading glasses. Of course, with myopia, with nearsightedness, it helps also to see sharper further away. Yeah. So it's going to work like this. Um, you are going to remove glasses or contacts if you were wearing any. The three of us don't, so we don't need to do that part. But maybe you at home, you need to remove the glasses or the contacts. Okay, thank you, Diana. And pay attention at how you see at this moment so that you have a point of comparison before, after, like when you're not doing the instant focusing technique and when you're doing it. You can look at the screen. There's different letters of different sizes in the screen, like Wake Up Your Eyes, ClearSight Method, our names, our description. Maybe the chat also has letters, people are writing. Maybe if you're at home and you have a book, you can also check the different titles and the normal text. Like there may be letters of different sizes, right? Or maybe you have a journal or a poster, and you can test for near vision. You can also look further away. Yeah, if there's posters or letters around you, just make sure, like Gretchen Linda was saying, check around you how well you can see the letters of different sizes at different distances, without the glasses, without the contacts. And don't squint or do weird things with your eyes to see more. It's just to notice how you see them without doing any effort right now, without any crutch around your eyes. Okay, so now that you have noticed how you see, you are going to make a little hole like the size of a pinhead. Make a little hole the size of a pinhead with your finger. Close one eye, put the little hole in front of you, and now look through the little hole. And you can read again the letters in the screen, like ClearSight Method, Wake Up Your Eyes, or
Mhm.
the chat. Mhm. If you are looking
Mhm.
at letters further away, you can look at the letters. You can blink also, look through the little hole, and notice how sharp you see when you're looking just through the little hole. Yeah. And I would like that you mention in the chat how is that experience. So Diana, how is it for you?
Mm, wow, amazing. Yes. And I'm doing now with the eye, I had strabismus, which is a
Mhm.
little weak, but fantastic. Yeah, clearer.
Okay,
Great. I
and
hope you
Yolanda,
can do it too. Yes.
how's for you?
Yes, for me, same thing. I try both eyes. I have one eye that is a little bit worse than the other, and with both eyes, I can see clearly,
Mhm.
far
Okay.
and near, no
Okay.
matter how difference in sharpness they have.
Okay, so I'm seeing Gretelinda Mann, who was wondering if it would work to see far away. And she's like, so much sharper. That's crazy. I love it. And also another person saying, I can see really clear everything. Um, okay, now someone sees well, but notice now that you have eye floaters. Well, there's something you can do about that also. So you can improve from the floaters as well. Stephanie's like, oh my God, this is awesome. Okay, some people mention that it's different, not necessarily clear, but for most people, the experience is that they can see clear when they practice this. And I'm going to explain to you why and how this works, and why for most people the vision is a lot sharper. And there's also reasons why a few people may not be seeing like this big improvement, okay? But the reason is, well, first of all, before we get into the reason, notice that if by practicing the instant focusing technique you were seeing sharper, you actually were doing that with your eyes. It is a capacity that is in your eyes. I see more wows, larger printer. Okay, one eye better than the other. Okay. You are being able to experience that improved, enhanced sharpness with the capacities that your eyes have right now. Okay. Now, why is it not the way you experience your eyesight all the time? Probably because you need to develop the mental habits of taking advantage of the sharpness of your eyesight, and nobody has taught you how to do that. But you have seen that you actually see clearer than you are aware of. And that can be trained, that can be taught, that can be learned. Okay, now Yolanda, Diana, do any of you have the model? Okay, great. So let's have Yolanda. So this, can you show the model of the eye high enough so that they can see it? Yeah.
All together.
No, 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 like you
Oh,
were
just
doing. Yes,
okay.
exactly. So this is a part of the eyeball. Actually, it's the upper part, but so you see all the orange. No, show the inside. Show the inside, like you were doing. Yeah, all the orange part is the retina, and it's filled with photosensitive cells, right? Cells that allow to see colors and details, especially in the macula. If you can point to the macula, please. Yes, it's that red, that yellowish dot that's just in front of the pupil. So that's where the cones are, the photosensitive cells that are the sharpest. Yeah, exactly. Move it a little bit. Yes, so it's just in front of the pupil. And the rest of the retina is mostly covered. It has some cones also, but it's mostly covered with rods that allows to distinguish if there's more or less light, so shades of gray and movement. And most of the periphery allows us to see movement, so we can notice the thread. And when we're at night in the darkness, we don't see colors, but we're very aware of the visual field precisely in order to be able to identify if there's threat at night, right? Okay, so as Yolanda is holding the eye, you can see that directly in front of the pupil, we have the macula. And inside the macula, we have the fovea, which is a small, very tiny portion of the macula that sees the sharpest in the eye. Yeah? Now, when there's a lot of sunlight, the pupil naturally becomes smaller. right? Because of the amount of sunlight. There is no need to have a lot of light. And guess where the light comes directly to stimulate? To the macula, to the fovea. And when we do the little hole, guess what happens? We are selectively allowing for the rays that are coming perpendicular to our eye to come and stimulate just the macula, the fovea. Mhm. So that's why through the little hole, or when there is a lot of sunlight, and by the way, sunlight will always be stronger by far than any artificial light. Mhm. So anytime we're in the sunlight, we see a lot better. Anytime the light is brighter, we see a lot better color and details. And every time the fovea, the retina, is directly stimulated by light, we see a lot better. Thank you, Yolanda, for showing the model. So, and this is something you could check with any anatomy book or any model with an eye. So, anytime you need to see sharper, you could look through the little hole and you're going to see a lot better. If you don't have magnifying glass or glasses at hand and you're in need, you can do this. You breathe, you blink, you use the pin, the finger pinhole, and you can see a lot better. Now, it's not very practical to go through life like this, right? And not very presentable. And then you need your hands for other things. So another way to have this effect of the pinhole is actually to use pinhole glasses. And I see, Yolanda, that you have yours in your hands. Diana also, yes. So they kind of look like sunglasses because they're made of black plastic. Hold them lower, Yolanda. Yes, but what they have is little holes. Yeah, I also have like this kind of keychain pinhole glasses. They have little holes. It's really the technology of the hole. You could actually put an object through the hole. Yeah, there is no lens in there. What we're maximizing is for this foveal vision, this pixel of highest quality eyesight that we anatomically have in our eyes. Mhm. Yes, and the pinhole glasses. So I see, Diana, you have different models, or you're showing how you could put a pin through it. Okay, we see the other side. Yes, exactly. So it's just holes. So the technology of the hole you could actually make at home also. Like you can take a box of Kleenex and you can poke a bunch of holes and cut it as glasses. Maybe you're not going to go to a job interview with that, or maybe you don't even want to go to the street. But at home, it's something that you can use and you can do it yourself for practice. And if you want something a bit more fancy, well, you can buy the pinhole glasses on the internet. I have found them as cheap as 30 cents per glass, but of course, that's when I buy like a bulk for like 500 of them. So I give them away or I sell them in my workshops. Most often, they cost between $5 to $10 for the Chinese produced ones. And the better quality ones tend to be, I don't know, between 30 and 45 euros. We have or dollars. We have a colleague that's producing pinhole glasses compatible with a kit of tools to improve your eyesight. Irena Castle, the Clarity trainers. Well, I don't know anymore what the price is for those. But anyway, you can find whichever level tool that you like to use. Or as a starter, again, take a Kleenex box and cut the shape of glasses and poke some holes, and you can practice. Now, the instant focusing technique is interesting and it's helpful for your eyesight improvement in several ways. So even for those who said that you don't see clear yet, you doing the instant focusing technique at this moment, I would advise you to practice it. Yeah. First, because it allows your brain to become aware of how well you are capable of seeing. And this opens your mind to the possibility of improvement. Opening your mind, opening your eyes to that your brains accept that you can see clearly. It's a very important step. Now, another thing is that you are actually training your brain to see, taking advantage of this high quality pixel of the foveal vision and looking at details, and training looking at details improves your eyesight. And also the advantage of the pinhole glasses compared to the glass glasses is that through the glass glasses, because they're lenses and the lenses are curved, we already said, you're always looking through the middle of the glass to see sharp for the distance that the glass was designed. So you're not moving your gaze as you should to have your muscles relaxed. Yeah, your gaze becomes rigid and you move your head. With the pinhole glasses, your eye is going to be looking for the right hole to look at the right detail. So it encourages movement and saccadic movements. So both looking for details and encouraging saccadic movements are practices that are actually part of your vision improvement. You are creating good habits for improving your eyesight by using the pinhole glasses. Now, the pinhole glasses are also a tool. So the idea is not to put them on when you first wake up in the morning and put them away when you go to bed. What are the good situations to use the pinhole glasses? Yeah. So there's a number of them. Good situations to wear pinhole glasses. Again, the best is that you go without any crutches or tools in front of your eyes, as much as reasonably possible. Safety first, functionality, of course, but if you can, go without anything. Now, in what circumstances pinhole glasses are amazing? For reading, for using the computer, for using tablets or phones, for watching TV, for going to the theater or to the movies. In those kinds of situations where you're in a safe space and you're not moving, you can use the pinhole glasses. Also, if you're practicing vision improvement as a training tool, you can use pinhole glasses. And so they can help as a transition tool, as an alternative to glasses, even as an alternative to sunglasses. We'll go there. And training tool, transition tool, and alternative to glasses. Now, when not to use the pinhole glasses, because like with any tool, there's moments and places for them. And there are moments where the pinhole glasses are not adapted and not recommended. For example, never wear pinhole glasses for driving. That could be dangerous. They're also covering some of the peripheral view, and you want to have your whole visual field for driving. Yeah. If you're moving fast in unknown outdoor spaces, at home, you are aware of the space, you know it, it's okay. But if you're moving fast in unknown outdoor space, it could be dangerous. Also for practicing sports, not very adapted. Yeah. So you see, there's moments that you can use them. And also, if you're wearing pinhole glasses all day long, you're not allowing the sunlight to stimulate your eyes. So you also want to spend as much time as reasonably possible without anything. Now, the pinhole glasses, I said, can be a substitute for sunglasses when we are at the beach. For example, laying in the sun, or I don't know, making a castle or something. If the sun is so strong that you're bothered by it, wear the pinhole glasses. They're going to remove most of the glare, but they still allow for some full light spectrum to stimulate your retinas. And so that's better than what the sunglasses will do. Now, if you are a sailor in a boat, maybe sunglasses are appropriate. Again, I'm not demonizing sunglasses. Sunglasses also have a place and a moment. There's moments where sunglasses are appropriate that pinhole glasses cannot replace them. Yes. For example, if you're driving your car and the sun is setting and you have a lot of light or a lot of glare in front of you, well, for that, you may want to use sunglasses. If you're skiing, of course, you want to use sunglasses. If you're a pilot, you probably need to wear sunglasses at some moments. And maybe if you're a sailor in the sea with a lot of glare, you may want to use sunglasses. But in other situations, it's better not to. Not to wear sunglasses, to get as much sunlight to our eyes and to our bodies as possible. So in that case, like I think it was Diana was saying, wear a hat, blink more, or go sit in the shadow, yes, if the sun is too much, yeah. But the sunglasses are not very good for our eyesight and even for our health in particular. I was saying how the eyes are actually the organ that regulates the body to the kind of light that is in the environment, right? So if you fool the eyes by wearing sunglasses, the settings in your body are not optimal. And there's a very interesting study that happened in Australia that showed that origin population, so the local original population of Australia, who have a very dark skin, of course, with such a dark skin, with so much melanin, they would never get burned and they would never get skin cancer until they started wearing sunglasses, and their eyes and their organism, their body, was fooled with false information. Yeah, so this is important. Now, any comments that you would like to add, Yolanda, Diana? Maybe you've noticed some questions about this that we may want to answer.
Yes, the questions about these pinhole glasses, where to get them. Yes, you can get. Well, I think they have been answered. Well, we spoke about the dangers. No. Well, yes, not other questions that where to get them. Maybe as I know I was saying, there are cheaper ones just to begin, because this is a tool. Again, this is a tool. It's not something to wear all day long, yes, but you can get them through the stores, the mainline online stores. Yes.
I saw someone asking in the chat if the more expensive ones were better than the cheaper ones, and it's actually about how the hole is poked. Yeah, because these are flat, so you don't have that problem. But when the pinhole glasses are curved, and if you have a mold to make them, when the curved plastic is poured into the mold, then what happens is that the holes are poked in a way that are reversed, with a smaller part towards the outside and the bigger part towards the inside. And they're less precise when the holes are poked like that. Holes that are the same size outside or inside are better. They allow for more sharpness. And even if the holes are bigger towards the outside than towards the inside, that's even better. Like the pyramid holes or the cylindrical holes. And when you get those kinds of holes, that's what explains that the glasses are a bit more expensive. But I would say rely on your direct experience. If the cheaper ones or even the Kleenex box made ones work for you, well, then that's great. If they're not good enough, then you can get the more sophisticated, a bit more expensive ones. I don't think it's a problem to spend $5 to test with the cheaper ones. If they're not okay, well, then you can go ahead and buy the more expensive ones, that you can offer the $5 ones to someone else. Yeah, for example. Now I see that there were a couple of people that missed the times that I suggested to go in the sun. So let me repeat that. Yeah. So sunrise and sunset, that's easy, when the sun is going up and when the sun is going down. So that's the moment of the day where there's more red light, and that regulates very beautifully your circadian cycle. And then the other two moments that are amazing to be in the sun for a little while is, and you can do your sunning practices as you're outside, yeah, is between 8 and 10 a.m. in the morning. So it activates you for the day. And also at noon, when the sun is the highest in the sky. And there's a very easy way to make sure of that. And give me a second, Yolanda and Diana. So personally, I have this app called Sun Surveyor, but it's one. There's a lot of free apps that will allow you to know what is the movement of the sun and at what time is happening what. So I have Sun Surveyor, the free version, and regardless of where I am in the world, it will tell me exactly when's the sunrise, when is noon, when is the sunset, and a bunch of other information. These apps were developed to begin with for photographers, because they're very aware, and videographers, of the quality of the sunlight affecting the kinds of colors that are going to appear on the film, and what's the temperature going to look like, and the ambience, etc. But it is very good for people who want to practice natural vision improvement to be aware of when is the sunrise, when is the sunset, when is noon, and then you can pick just a moment where you're available between 8 and 10 to be outdoors. 15 minutes would be ideal, and within those 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, you can do your practices of sunning. Yeah? Okay. So let's see. Any more questions, or shall we talk more about blue light and red light? Actually, I kind of have the feeling that I went ahead of myself and I kind of explained it already. But red light, as we said, especially the sunrise and the sunset red light, but also some lamps. Since the last few years, there's red light therapy in general, of course, for physiotherapy for many years, but also for eyesight training that has been developed. Now, if you like to buy artificial lamps, I would advise you to do your research and make sure you read the prospects, etc. Now, you have a very easy to access, absolutely free and always available red light, which is the sunlight at the sunrise and sunset. And the red and infrared that are more commonly present with natural light have healing properties. They help the tissues in the body repair. They activate the mitochondria. They give more energy to our body, more energy to our cells, and they can repair. It's true for the retina and for the eyes, and it's true for the rest of the body. Now, the best quality of life for our health, again, is sunlight. Now, in terms of artificial light, incandescent light, so the very early kind of light that Thomas Edison invented and the further developments, incandescent light and halogenous light also have a great deal of red light, and they're actually healthier for our bodies. Fluorescent light is very bad for our eyesight. It keeps going on and off, and the kind of light it shows is, well, it's really not good for us. And LED light is the next worst artificial light that we can get, because LED light is basically only blue light. And this is the reason why it's cheap. And why it's in a way good for the ecology and the economy, because we spend less electricity, because it only shows blue light. So it's like junk food. You can see because it's sharp, but you are not getting the other wavelengths that your body needs to be aligned with the circadian cycle and to repair itself. So blue light is junk light. Artificial blue light, LED blue light, is junk light. Sunlight, blue light in the sun, is amazing. It prevents myopia, and it also comes with some other red light, etc. So it's caring for your eyes at the same time as it's stimulating them. Yeah, so it's important to make these distinctions. And because of the qualities of red light, infrared saunas have become very popular nowadays, because they help repair and restore the tissues in the body. So again, what is the conclusion from what we're learning about red light and blue light? Spend more time exposed to natural sunlight. That's the bottom line. The more natural sunlight you get, the better for your health, the better for your eyes. And if you cannot be outdoors all the time, make sure that you're in well-lit, naturally lit spaces that have a window where the light can come in, right? And the artificial lights, it's not about demonizing them and not ever using them again, but beware that after sunset, it's better not to have LED lights, blue light coming from above your head. It's signaling to your body that it's still the middle of the day, and it will keep you from sleeping. And so if you don't sleep well, the tissues don't repair well, the eyes don't rest well. So after the sunset, besides the virtual filters for your screens, you could use, for example, salt lamps that tend to be more reddish, orangish, or candles. Or if you're going to use LED lights, get those that you can turn the color to warmer temperatures, and then you're going to help not only your eyesight, but your general health. Okay, so we've gone quite deep with light, but it's important. And now one amazing way to relate to sunlight, and especially to help your eyes improve and see better, for your muscles to relax, your retinas to be stimulated, is sunning. And we explained sunning in video of the lesson number 2, but we're going to explain it again and answer some questions and give more details about sunning. You already saw a lot of your fellow participants expressing how amazing, how pleasant it was to do the sunning, and how they would see better and feel their eyes better afterwards, and just have a general sense of well-being. Now, Diana, Yolanda, would one of you like to explain sunning? Yes, Yolanda? Okay, well, all yours.
Okay. Yes, sunning. Let me tell you, when I started doing the natural vision improvement with this program, and I know I talk about sunning, I said, oh my gosh, how I'm going to do this? I suffer from photophobia. And I said, okay, well, she's saying that photophobia can be healed and go away with practicing sunning. So I started with a little bit. So the first thing you need to do to practice sunning is to remove your glasses, your contacts. If you have a paper with different size fonts, you can observe that before going outside to see the sun. And then you go outside. No windows, no glasses, no interference between you and the sun. So you face the sun with your eyes closed. Never open your eyes towards the sun unless it is the 10 minutes of the sunset or dawn at sea level. So you face the sun with your eyes closed and start moving your head side to side. Just enjoy the warmth of the sun. If it is a lot of light, you can just relax by stroking your forehead, stroking your face, moving, balancing, just enjoying how the light comes in through your closed eyelids. Then one variation that you can do, and that is amazing, it's beautiful, is the inner kaleidoscope. With your eyes open like this, you pass them in front of your eyes, and you'll see the different colors, yellows, greens, oranges, blues, reds. And you can just do different things, and do it as long as you like, as far as it feels enjoyable. And then another variation with the sheet of paper that I showed you before. You turn the sheet towards you, the letters facing down, so you don't read what is on the paper, and face the sun. And at this point, you can have your eyes open. With your eyes open, you pass the sheet of paper in different ways, very close to you, creating the difference between the dark of the ink and the white of the sheet of paper. So you are getting trained your pupil. You do this as far as you like, and then once you are done, you can turn the sheet of paper, and your sun is on the back of you, and you'll see, observe what is the difference between before doing sunning and after doing sunning. Maybe you read the same line but clearer, sharper, or maybe you are able to read farther and smaller font. So this is basically how this is done. And as we said before, if you are very sensitive, you can use hats. Use hats. Even you can do this. You can do this. Different ways. So let me tell you, I was relying on sunglasses, even in those overcast days with clouds. Now I don't. Not even in the sun, not even when I go to the beach. I'm able to enjoy the sunlight and feel my eyes getting better, and my body overall feels great just getting the sun.
Okay, so the reason why sunning works has several
Sorry.
factors. Thank you, Yolanda. So on the one hand, the sun also is creating this pinhole glass effect, because the more you are in the sun and you're exposing your eyes to the sun, the more the pupil closes, and when the pupil is closed, you can see sharper. Another negative effect of sunglasses is that they keep your pupils dilated all the time. And when your pupils are dilated all the time, they become lazy. So they forget how to become small. And so constant use of sunglasses also gets your vision blurry. Mhm. So sunning makes your pupil smaller. And I think Yolanda showed both the microprint practice and also the inner kaleidoscope. With both of those, you're actually making a contrast of sun and shadow. So it's allowing the pupil to do some gym, right? Open, close, open, close, open, close. So it's better for the pupil. So on the one hand, sunning is good because of the pinhole glass effect, but done by your pupil. It's good because it makes the training for the pupil, and it's good because you get your retina stimulated and the cells in your retina healthier. Mhm. Um, Now, this movement that you get with the pupil opening and closing, also is particularly good if you have glaucoma or high intraocular pressure, because it allows to pump the aqueous humor out of your eye and to harmonize the intraocular pressure. So it's also good as a prevention of glaucoma. And if you already have it or you have high intraocular pressure, we have so many students that tell us that just sunning and the variations around sunning or combining sunning and palming in the sandwiches, that their intraocular pressure becomes normal again. And this is a way to prevent going blind. Glaucoma could make you blind. So something as simple as practicing these exercises in the sun, good for your health, good for your eyesight. Now, do any of you want to explain the sandwich between sunning and palming? Maybe Diana, to change a bit?
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to clarify. Yes, some question I'm seeing here. Sunning, eyes closed. Yes, sunning,
Absolutely.
eyes closed.
Absolutely.
Yes, kaleidoscope, eyes closed.
Absolutely.
Yes, eyes closed. Shading with this paper we've done, you can open there, just there, you can open your eyes because the paper is between you and the sun.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So be aware of that, because we cannot open the eyes to the sun directly. Please don't do that.
No.
No.
Yes. You can look at the sunrise and the sunset when the solar disk is touching the horizon at the sea. At other times of the day, in other situations, don't look at the sun directly. And also, don't look at a solar eclipse, because you will literally fry your retinas with all that ultraviolet light. Yes, so don't do that. Now, you can close your eyes and look towards the sun and towards the sky anytime, of course. So if you don't look at the sun directly, you can look at the sky with your eyes open. You can look at the clouds with your eyes open, and a lot of sunlight is going to your eyes as well. You can blink, and that's a very good practice. If you live in the UK, like someone wrote, right, or wherever you are, and where it's cloudy, or it's raining, it's cloudy, you don't get to see the sun all that much, it's foggy, well, you can do clouding. So you can look towards the clouds with your eyes open, and you can blink. Now, if it's very cold, well, put more clothes on to be outdoors. If it's too cold that you cannot go outdoors, then you can do sunning from within your house, preferably with the open window. If it's too cold to open the window, then do sunning with the glass. It's not as effective as when you don't have any glass between your eyes and the sun, but it's better to do that than not to do anything. Now, of course, you're practicing sunning without glasses, without sunglasses, and without contacts. If you have
Mhm.
intraocular lenses, well, you're going to leave them where they are, of course. Yeah, but the idea is to remove any glass between you and the sun. Any more
Mhm.
details, Diana? You want to explain the
Mm,
sandwich?
yes, yes, I want to do that because what is this about sandwich between palming and sunning? Yes, we said before that with these contrasts of light and darkness, yes, here's the cornea, the iris and the pupil, yes, they contract, expands. Yes, darkness and light. So, what about these sandwiches that are very good, especially for people with glaucoma? I've had a fellow participant in my edition. He could lower, yes, the ocular pressure just by doing these two techniques, these star techniques. Why? We said that the aqueous humor runs, this is the cornea, as you can see here, yes, runs here between the cornea and the crystalline. Yeah, I will take the humor just here because it doesn't work. So the aqueous humor runs here. Yes, it cleanses the lenses. Yes, hydrates, oxygenates, and take out the toxins. Yes, of the eyes. This is the aqueous humor there. So when the pupil and the iris do this, yes, the aqueous humor is actually moving, the liquid is moving, yes, but sometimes we have like a blockage, yes, in the drain is like our sink in the bathroom when there is a blockage that the water doesn't run very well. So this movement of the iris and the pupil actually helps the aqueous humor to move, to drain well. Yes, that's why the ocular pressure goes down and down. Yes, but first, safety first. Go to the eye doctor, yes, to check your pressure. Always be aware of that. But with this technique, the sandwich technique, what is this about? Okay, let's go outside with the sun. We explained sunning before, moving our head with eyes closed. Yes, so you can do it sitting down. You can just stand up. You have the sun here, yes, and you move your head from side to side very gently. Then you can turn your face to the sun. So I'm going to turn, yes, and you just palm for 1-2 minutes. You palm darkness, the opposite of the light that the eyes were receiving. So as long as you palm, your pupil and your iris expand, yes? And then again, you do this for 1 minute, then go to the sun again, move your body to the sun, close your eyes, and again, the light of the sun, the warmth, the energy, you move your head, and then again. So this is what we call sandwich, palming and sunning and palming, yes? It's good to palm even after you've done sunning for 5 minutes, let's say, or any time it's comfortable for you. Yes, you just palm your eyes. You give the darkness your eyes need, the rods that are in the retina. We said about that before. The cones in the macula. We've seen this, yes. Yes, here in the fovea, we talked about the cones there, that cones are fed by color, by light. Yes, rods are fed by darkness. Dark, tranquility, calm. Yes, so with this movement of the iris and the pupil, favored by sunlight, darkness, this make your whole visual system improve, not only for glaucoma, for all vision symptoms. Yes, it will make your system, your whole system, find a balance between what is light, what is dark. Even if there is no sunlight, the sun is always there. So go outside in a cloudy day too. And that has the benefit that you can open the eyes to the clouds and see the clouds, Yes, and delineate your clouds, find the forms they have as if we are kids, to play. So again, palming and sunning, very beneficial, beneficial, especially with people, for people with glaucoma. Yes.
Hmm. Very good. So yes, palming, sunning. And one advantage that you have, remember in lesson number 1, we said if you have glaucoma or high intraocular pressure, you shouldn't palm more than 5 minutes in a row,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
you can do it several times a day. Now, if you do 3 minutes of palming and 3 of sunning, 3 of palming, 3 of sunning, or 5, 5, 5, you could extend your practice. So that's also an advantage of the sandwich. So there's plenty of common questions that we tend to get on sunning, and I've also been looking at questions in the chat while Diana was speaking, so we can address some of those at least. So we did give you by email eye charts and small print. Maybe you have them at hand. Yeah, so that's an eye chart for vision, and the small print for near vision. They were showing them as well. Yeah, they're basically papers with letters of different sizes that you can, for the small print, put at the distance of your elbow. Then you have a constant reference. And for the eye chart, you could put a mark on the floor where you see the third line well and the fourth blurry, for example. And before and after you practice the different things, you can go and look at these eye charts and small prints and notice the improvement of your eyesight. And sunning or the instant focusing technique should be helping you, palming too. Yeah. Now, again, if you cannot print them, you can use a book, a newspaper, or something that you have with letters of different sizes at hand. It may not be as precise, but again, it's a self-evaluation. What's important is that you can tell yourself that you're actually improving your eyesight so that you keep motivated and you keep going. Okay, we showed the elbows distance already. Do we practice with glasses or contacts? The idea is to practice without, whether it's palming or sunning or the other things that we'll teach later, or even the use of pinhole glasses. Yesterday we had someone asking if they would put the pinhole glasses in front of the normal glasses. The idea is to practice without glasses to give more capacities to your naked eyes to see by themselves. That's the idea, right? What about if you have intraocular lenses? Well, you leave them where they are. If you got surgery for cataracts and they put an intraocular lens, the best surgery is the one that you don't need. And that is true for preventing cataract surgery. For example, I saw in the chat people asking if it's possible to revert cataracts. It is. But if you've already had surgery and you have an intraocular lens, well, you're not going to do another surgery to remove them. So you practice palming and sunning. You can practice with that, and your eye will adapt and you can improve as well. So what do we do when it's cold or it rains or there's clouds or it's the winter? We already talked about that. And sunning with or using red light therapy, we already mentioned that. Again, my advice is use the very well aligned to your health and body free resource that is the sun and the sunlight. That would be my first option. If you want to use artificial lights, it may be a good idea, but in that case, the topic is also so vast that it would require a special class on that. So at this point, I would say do your own research. But the sun, it's always a safe bet if you follow the instructions we're giving you. How long to do the sunning? The same as palming, as long as it feels nice. Um, because maybe you're starting and in the beginning, 2 minutes of sunning is what feels nice. And after you've been practicing for a few weeks, maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes is what it feels nice. Or one day you're stressed and you don't have much time. Well, then do the sunning for 5 minutes. And another day it's the weekend and it's a pleasant temperature and you want to do it for 20 minutes. Okay. Again, you have your best device to know how much time is relevant, which is your own body. And for how many days or how many times a day? If you can do it several times, it's better than if you can do it only once. And we already mentioned the 4 best times: sunrise, sunset, noon, and sometime between 8 and 10 in the morning. And for how many days or for how many weeks do I do the palming? Well, how many days do you brush your teeth or you drink water or you comb your hair? That's something that you tend to do daily. So that would be the best choice for sunning. Does it work for your symptom? Yes. Sunning is very good for cataracts, for macular degeneration. It's very good to presbyopia, myopia, glaucoma, and of course, sensitivity to light. When you're sensitive to the glare, sunning is what will remove it, what will make it disappear. Probably you have the glare because your pupil is used to being dilated all the time and it lacks the training and the gym to be able to open and close again. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, we spoke about this. So I'm going to take some time to answer some questions, but I would like to ask you, we're kind of in the midpoint of the free 4-part masterclass that has a $300 value, and we're giving it to you for free. And I would like to know if you feel like you're getting the value, that you're receiving helpful, useful information and tips on how to take care of your eyes and improving your eyesight naturally. And again, there's more because we're halfway, right? So there's the other half that's coming. So there's more coming. Elisa is like, wonderful sunning description, and wonderful sandwich description. Diana,
Yeah.
uh, Elizabeth is also saying it's so fascinating to we trained eye doctors since 87, how addicted we are to eyeglasses, contacts, and sunglasses. I'm grateful for much I studied, yet continuing to deprogram. Uh-huh.
Good.
For what's happening for me and for the collective consciousness. Yes. And I saw another one by Elizabeth. Let me see. She's like, I agree with you 100% regarding sunning, and it's true that sunglasses industry is $1 billion industry. In professional school for optometry, we were taught the opposite. Well, contemporary, groundbreaking research is showing more and more the benefits of the sun for health in general and for eyesight in particular. So, and you can see it with your own eyes. If you practice sunning a few days in a row, you'll notice you feel better and you'll notice you see better. So again, I encourage you to believe me, but you don't need to believe me. What I most of all encourage you to do is to see for yourself, to see with your own eyes, to do the practice and draw the conclusions with your own results. And if you persevere, you will have satisfaction. Okay, let's see.
I would like, sorry, I would like to add something because I know that maybe you are wondering, many people are really sensitive to light. And the first time you do sunning, you are like strike. But try going under the shade of a tree, yes, and see how the sun moves. In
Mhm.
the, observe the leaves, observe the
Yes.
branches, little by little, yes, and you will see the benefits. Yes, yes,
Mhm. Mhm. So
baby steps.
I'm I'm seeing people saying yes, definitely, it's worth. Thank you very much for this present for my eyes. Or Ruby saying very educational and so interesting. I so have ignored my eyes. Or Stephanie saying, I absolutely feel that this is worth it. It's worth the cost, but I'm grateful it's free. I wish I had known this earlier in my life, but I'm glad this knowledge is being shared now. And also, so grateful this is free. I will do this program and pass it on when I see results. Great, great. Well, I'm so happy that you're seeing the value of being here and participating, and there's more coming. So buckle yourself up because we're in the middle of the ride. There's still 2 more lessons. So if you're getting the value, this is amazing. And now I'm sorry to say that at this point, I have bad and good news. And after the bad news, I'm going to give you the good news immediately afterwards. Yes? Okay, some people are like, this is a wonderful course. I'm so grateful for the information. So before I go into good and bad news, let me take some time to answer some questions because I see there's like a number of them. Some people are asking if you can actually practice everything else, but not the pinhole glasses. Well, these are tools and strategies. Not all the tools work for everyone. Not everyone gets relaxed with palming. Most people do. So that's why we teach it, and it's in general, it's good for most people. Maybe for some reason, pinhole glasses are not for you. You're uncomfortable with them. You can still improve your eyesight without using the pinhole glasses. In general terms, I would say the more strategies you implement, the more chances you have to improve your eyesight faster. But are they all compulsory and necessary? No. Trust yourself, do what's good for you. And I'm seeing Angelica saying, do people actually see better with this, or do they just get used to getting by without their glasses? Digna was very close to the screen the last live. She doesn't really see. Well, you need to understand that Digna started with -18, which is huge, huge myopia. So maybe she doesn't see perfectly yet, but the increase of eyesight that she has had is humongous. I mean, what she was capable of doing and what she's capable of doing now without glasses, the difference is huge. And for most of us, there is absolutely a very big vision improvement. Okay, some people are loving the book, so happy. So people keep asking about palming in the dark. Well, yes, you could be palming in bed, absolutely. Now, it is not pointless to do palming when you're in the dark because your hands have energy, they had heat, and it's not only about darkness, the warmth also relaxes your muscles. But we spoke about this in another live. Pinhole glasses, yes or no? Yes. Eye mask at night, yes or no? Yes. Red light therapy, we told you we vote for the sunlight, but if you want to use lamps, okay, they can be good. Lutein, astaxanthin, zeaxanthin, yes, they're good for you. My personal take is that I like to make sure that I take them in my normal diet. Then I don't need to get supplements, but if the supplements are bioavailable, it can be a good option too. I'm interested in the advanced program, Stephanie. Great. Maybe you can send an email and the team will help you with that. But in any case, we're going to be talking about it and offering it for everyone in a few days as well. Okay. Thank you for the compliments for the book. Can red light therapy be used instead of sunning when the sunning is not available? You can use red light therapy, but I still encourage you to go outside, even if it rains, or to do the sunning from within the house by a window. So try to expose your eyes to natural light. Okay, cataracts, yes, sunning and palming are good for cataracts. Why, when I palm, my eyes start to tear and my nose gets runny? But probably because of the relaxation, and actually, the tear is evacuated through the nose, so it's normal. It probably is going to be something that happens for a little while, and then it'll go away. So for 91-year-old mom with macular degeneration, these techniques do help. Sunning and palming are very good for macular degeneration. Are the other sessions available still? Absolutely. You are having trouble to find them, make sure that you send an email to our team and they can help you, yes, to find them. Okay, in order to make the exercises work, should we stop wearing glasses, bearing in mind safety and functionality? I would say the best is to wear glasses as little as possible. But again, as little as possible is different for every person, depending on their circumstances and their conditions. But it's not about making the exercises work. It's about training your eyes to see naturally again. Yeah. And for that, the more time you spend without glasses, the better. Okay, there's questions for symptoms. Yes, this works for all the various symptoms. And how long to do the palming and sunning, we already answered. And what's the third exercise? But there's more things coming also in the next class, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Okay. Okay, someone is saying, with no sun today, my vision is less. Absolutely. No, you can notice indoors or outdoors. Outdoors, you also always see details and colors sharper. Okay, is it okay to wear sunscreen during sunning if you have some condition that requires it? Yes. If that's the recommendation from your doctor, you can wear the sunscreen and do sunning. Do you always have to do palming after sunning? You don't have to, but I would advise it because during palming, your eyes relax and they also integrate the experience. But if you end with sunning, that's okay too. If you are clouding, you can keep your eyes open. Yes, you can. Okay. Does it help for macular degeneration? We said yes. Okay, Ruby has a pair of pinhole glasses and you find it hurts your eye muscles. Then my recommendation would be to practice or use them for shorter times, to go step by step progressively, or maybe introduce them a bit later when you have been doing palming and sunning and blinking and looking far and other things for a longer time, and your eyes are in a better place. Is the sandwich technique good to help cataracts? Also, absolutely, absolutely. Sunning and palming are very good for cataracts. Someone mentions that pinhole glasses can cause side effects like double vision. No, that's not the case. Angelica, what happens is that while you're using them, depending on the quality of the hole, you may have the sensation of a shadow, but when you remove them, you don't notice that anymore. Okay, in northern Norway, we don't have sun or daylight in midwinter. Is there an alternative to light for sunning? Yes. So I know that in Scandinavia, they have special lights that kind of imitates sunlight. And if you are living in Scandinavia, it would be a good idea to do it. How do I get rid of the floaters that now I see with the pinhole glasses? Well, palming and sunning help with the floaters, and what we're going to teach in lesson number 3. Okay, when you're doing sandwich, do you do the kaleidoscope? I feel not. I just want to confirm it. Actually, you can alternate the practices of sunning and then palming, or you could do just plain sunning and palming as a sandwich. So you can do both ways. I love the simplicity of the exercises. Yeah, me too. I just learned this today and can't wait to start. Absolutely. Okay, I think I have covered, if not all of them, most of them. And I'm seeing someone, I'm typing without my glasses, and the eyes feel relaxed. Congratulations. Congratulations. So you are proving to yourself that you can see clear and better with your own eyes through palming, through sunning, through the instant focusing technique. If you've been practicing, you're certainly noticing that you're seeing better and better as you practice more and more. And now I have bad and good news. What are the bad news? The bad news is that you could do all this exercise and not improve. And you're like, what? Why are you telling me this? You're teaching me these exercises and you say they work, and now you're telling me. Yes, they do work. And there's a lot of people that improve with exercises alone, but there's another layer. You could even get surgery and not improve. And you're like, what? Okay, well, 2 things. On the one hand, it's a matter of habits. If you change the wheel of your car that you have damaged because of how you drive, and you change the wheel, but you keep driving the same way, well, guess what? The wheel will be damaged again. So you need to change your habits. But there's something else also. So because changing the exercise, doing the exercises and all the things that we're teaching you is changing the habits. But there's another layer. You could do the exercises and not improve because eyesight is depending on the brain. The eyes are the cameras or the organs that change light impulses into nervous impulses. But vision, eyesight, is processed in the brain and is a function of the brain. And the brain is affected by emotions. The brain makes choices. And when you live in stressful situations where it's psychologically threatening or damaging for you to see certain things, the brain will keep you from seeing. The things that you cannot see at some point were challenging or threatening for you. Eyesight symptoms, at least in 80% of the cases, and generally more, occur at a time in our life where we're living with stress, and there they reflect the effect of a suppressed emotion or and release tension in our consciousness. So if you want to improve in a permanent way, the key to permanent improvement comes in lesson number 3. Because when you release the underlying emotional tension or tension in your consciousness that is keeping you from seeing things, that's for me when you touch the important point, and that's when eyesight shifts, not only from the eyes towards the eyes outside, but also it gives you clarity from the eyes towards the inside. So lesson number 3 is very important for your vision improvement journey, and also for your happiness. Yeah. So what are we going to learn in lesson number 3? We're going to learn how your way of seeing reflects your way of being. You're going to discover how your eyesight reflects your personality and what you need to change to see clearly. We're going to give you tools to transform your inner and outer vision. We're going to teach you the symptom translation technique. We're going to explain what are the emotions underlying and the typical situations underlying 15 common eyesight symptoms. Yes. And so it will give you a lot of aha moments where you'll discover when and why your eyesight started declining and what you need to do internally to shift your eyesight and to shift your vision, and much, much more. This is a fascinating lesson, and a lot of people tell us that only for this lesson they would pay the $300, the 300 euros, because of the transformation that it gives them, and we're going to give it to you for free. Tomorrow, we're going to release the video speaking about this, and a couple days later, we'll do the live where we will dive deeper into this topic. Diana, Yolanda, would you like to mention something about how this emotional aspect of eyesight, which is very surprising for a lot of people, actually very, very important, useful, and effective? You want to say something, Diana?
Yes, of course. Yes, having done other natural vision courses, this free course, when I listened the emotions, I said, what? Emotions behind my eyes? I said, yes, this is it, and this is for me. And I believe that this improvement, yes, grew up because I could find that emotion, those emotions behind my symptoms. So be here, come here, because this is amazing to understand that your eyes can speak to you, that your eyes feel, that your eyes sense really. Yes, in a world that we live with so much stress and things going from here to there, well, your eyes too suffer. So I encourage you. This will be
Thank
great.
you. I'm reading Loya Lyon saying what to do in case of astigmatism, myopia, stronger in one eye, making weaker than the other eye. After taking out glasses, what if I'm looking more with the other eye than the affected eye? Well, actually, tomorrow we're going to release the video. You will receive it in your emails. This is why it's so important to register if you haven't registered yet. If you have any issues to get the videos, write an email to us. And so from lesson number 3, we're going to explain the emotional meaning of seeing better with one eye than with the other, and what you need to do to shift that. And this emotional aspect or this emotional dimension will allow you to improve your eyesight from astigmatism, myopia, hyperopia, presbyopia, glaucoma, cataracts, macular degeneration. There's been research since 1958 on the topic in very prestigious American universities like Columbia University, the New School of Social Research in New York. And I have learned from this previous research that has been passed on by Dr. Charles Kelly and Dr. Martin Rothman. I have done research myself at the University of Toulouse in France and at the International University of Human Development and Leadership in Mexico on this topic. So we'll tell you about all the research, but in order for you to be able to enjoy, you need to make sure that you're registered and make sure that you watch the video tomorrow and you come to the live on January 29th at the same time. Yeah? Okay. So will there be a recording? Yes, but we encourage you to participate live. Will it work? Does it work for your symptom? Absolutely. The emotional level also is useful for any symptom you may have in your eyesight. Does it work at your age? Absolutely. Does it work if you've had surgery or if you haven't? Absolutely. So do you keep wanting, do you want to keep transforming your eyesight? If so, the invitation is to keep participating in the course. If you want to have clear eyesight and vision, imagine how you will feel having the certainty that as you age, as time goes by, you're actually going to see better and feel better. Again, are you interested or committed? If you're committed, you'll watch tomorrow. And here you have some links that may be useful for you to take the best advantage of what we're doing. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and make sure that you check some of these links if you want to make sure that you have everything. I would like to know what is your main takeaway from today's live? What was the piece of information that was new to you, the tool or the technique that was a game changer, or the aha moment, or the story or the testimonial that was helpful for you? So if you would write that in the chat, it would be amazing. Otherwise, congratulations for being here yet another day to keep learning about natural vision improvement, how to take care of your eyes and improve your eyesight. And I don't know, Diana, Yolanda, if you want to say something, or we will just say goodbye for now to congratulate you and invite you to keep practicing. So congratulations for being here, for your commitment, for taking care of your eyes. Take care, be happy, enjoy the beauty of life, and we'll see you tomorrow in video number 3, or actually you'll see me, us, in video number 3, and you will also see better and better as you practice. So bye-bye. See you soon. Bye.